Hello everyone, and this is a 143 McLaren Formula One car, specifically the 1988 McLaren McLaren F1, no, the McLaren MP4/4, one of the most dominant cars ever made, and it's just glorious, like it's similar to the Lotus 76, is that right? 78, I'm not really familiar with that era of Formula One. The McLaren, the Ferrari F2004, the Mercedes W11, the Williams FW12. Williams was so dominant in like the early 90s. It doesn't really, well, throughout the 80s, throughout the 90s, right? So it doesn't really matter which one. But yeah, a McLaren Maconda, as people would say. A couple of things missing. First of all, there's no Marlboro sponsorship, even though obviously it's a Marlboro car, right? With the red and white. There's no Marlboro at all. So basically, it's the legal thing, right? A lot of models don't have them because it's a alcohol. It's what am I saying? It's a tobacco sponsorship. I don't really mind it either way. I just really like. I'm not like a stickler for. Oh my god, I can't believe these SJWs are banning tobacco brandy, right? No, it's like but for like a historic car, I want it to be exactly the way it is, which is unfortunate. A lot of other cars that I haven't shown yet also doesn't have like Rothman's logo, Camel, and it's a shame. Like I don't really support these big tobacco companies anyway, but like this is the way it was historically, right? Similar. If I ever get like a World War II Messerschmitt, I wouldn't want the swastika missing either. But I mean, I'm not gonna get a World War II Messerschmitt anyway. But that's the idea, right? Another thing that is suspiciously missing, I don't know if you've noticed, yeah, there is no McLaren logo or branding, whatever, on here at all. Maybe it might be on Senna's helmet, but even then, no, I don't think so. There is zero McLaren here. You can see Tag Heuer at the on the windshield. Shell, because I guess they were the petrol sponsorship. Goodyear, I think it says. Does this say McLaren at the tip? Oh my god, yeah, the only McLaren branding is right here. I didn't even notice it earlier. By the way, this is by Altaya, which just like IXO is a bit more budget brand, but different from IXO. This one actually has like a figurine sitting in it, and of course it's Aryton Senna, who is obviously one of the greatest Formula One drivers of all time. Although I do like Prost better than him. I think Prost is a better driver, but honestly, you can argue both ways, right? I picked a person and went with it. There's no like scientific way to prove it one way or another. It is 143 if you can't tell, and it rolls perfectly. Okay, now it's perfectly focused. Yeah, and you can see two antennae poking up. Very simplistic aero as it was back then. Showa. I'm not sure why his number is 12, honestly. Like, I'm not the most familiar with there. I feel like I'm familiar enough. But, like, the previous era, McLaren finished 1-2. Finished number 2 in the constructors, right? So I feel like there should be 3-4. Or is this before the era they started doing that? I'm not quite sure. But yeah, the Senna helmet is very nice, very detailed, very iconic, right? Inspired by Brazilian flag, the Nacional. I think it's a national petroleum or whatever boss right here. Yeah, it's very detailed. I think it's slightly better than the IXO, and what's better, there is no paint rash, which is commendable. Goodyear Eagle. This slide, which is actually a separate transparent piece, which is cool. Another silver piece right here. The base is very simplistic. It's held up by 4 screws, so just like the IXO. It comes with a display case, but it's very simplistic. I'm gonna keep it. I don't have it around. I'm gonna keep it, but it's like nothing really to write home about. So it's just like I did for the Ferrari. I'm gonna put both of these cars next to each other because they're from a very similar era, right? Like I said, for the if you've watched it for if you watch this video, I think the comparison is not really that gonna be that interesting for you. It's very similar, both very similar cars. What you do see is this one has like a lot larger mirrors, which is interesting. I think it sits slightly higher as well. Interesting. More complex rear wing. You can see like probably movable aero pieces. I'm not really sure with the technical regulations of this era. Suspensions are very nicely detailed and everything. similar size wheelbases. The McLaren is a bit more straight edge, while the 2 years later the Ferrari is a little bit more teardrop shaped. It's probably slightly more aerodynamic, but I'm not an engineer, so don't quote me on that. So yeah, two great drivers and two great cars, right? This is actually my first WDC World Driver Championship winning car. I have a Hamilton car from 2016 in which he didn't win the championship. I have a Vettel car from 2019 in which he didn't win the championship. I have a Prost car from 1990 in which he didn't win the championship. So I had 3 WDCs with 7 plus 4 plus 4 with 15 world titles, 15 drivers titles between them, and none of the cars are the winning cars, which is funny. But Ayrton Senna, 3-time World Driver Championship, a legendary driver, and this one is actually the winning car. Yeah, my only 143 Drivers Championship car so far, which is kind of funny. So yeah, Altaya. I think it's if you want to spend money on like a die-cast car, but don't want to spend too much money on a 143, I think this is the way to go. By the way, I was talking about like the numbers, right? What's his face? Alain Prost won in 1989. He was the World Driver Championship after coming together with Senna in 1899. So that's why he was driving with the number 1 here. I'm not sure why this is 12 and not like 3 or 4, but maybe this is before that regulation or that tradition change. I'm not really sure, but yeah, both great drivers. I'm very happy to have these 2 cars side by side. Yeah, this is for such a legendary team, this is my only 143 McLaren. I really want to get a Hamilton car, 2008 Hamilton car. Like, for one thing, that car just looks incredible. It's just so out there in terms of all the crazy aerodynamic components, and it's just incredible looking visually wise as well. Just so crazy. It's like a cartoon villain's car, and that was Hamilton's number one of his currently 7 World Drivers Championship, right? So I think it's also a very legendary car to have if I can get it. But that's going to be a little bit more difficult to get because I think the only one that made it is like mini champs, and being on a slightly older release is going to be a bit more expensive to get as well. It's like $100 or something like that. But anyway, that is all for this Ayrton Senna's 1988 McLaren MP4/4 done by Altaya. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye.